Good morning, people of YouTube.
Hi,
I am American.
I'm Martin.
And I'm Lulu. Oh no, that's not necessary. Don't kill Martin on live stream. We'll probably get banned from YouTube for that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So we are back another week for some more playing of Alice, some more updates on Alice Asylum, and yeah, maybe we'll see Lulu rip Martin's throat out.
Maybe.
She has a thing about biting your feet. I'm not.
She loves to bite my feet.
And what can you tell everybody what happened yesterday when we did the experiment between what happens when you put a foot in front of her and I put a foot?
My feet, legs are for biting. Yours are for a very different thing, aren't they? She likes doing something a bit sexy with your legs.
Yeah. Well, even though Lulu's a girl and she's been fixed, she likes to hump a leg, but not just any leg, mainly my leg. So yeah, she's a bit of a naughty girl. But yeah, she bites Martin's feet and she fucks my feet. So whatever. I guess there's worse things in the world. Martin, what are we doing today?
What are we doing today? The usual. Let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about things. Alice and Out of the Woods and Pirate Jam and play some games and give some prizes away and look at some dog.
I want to talk about treats. Who has treats? Lulu, you're so easy. All right. So what do we got here? This is going to be art review. There is some new art to look at this week.
How we usually start. Let's do that.
So we'll whet your appetite with a little bit here that we've seen before. That is more stick, less meat.
More steak, less meat.
Yeah. This is artwork that our good friend Omri sent along. I think it's called All Paths Lead to Death. Which I guess technically is true.
It is.
Yeah.
How glum.
Hadlum.
How glum.
Oh, how glum. So yeah, this is his latest edition, and I really like the stuff that he's working on because he's doing a lot of really nice environmental and also story type scenes. And so he sent along, if you go over to the Patreon post where we shared this, he sent along a narrative description of this, how Alice is in the Queen's garden, and she obviously has a propensity for chopping people's heads off. And then we also have the headstones here, which would be the names, presumably, of Alice's family who died in the fire. And I really like he's put, "It's your fault." It's a good touch.
It is.
She does think it's her fault. That is definitely one of the major themes in the first game, and I think could probably come back up again here in the second game.
So what are all those heads? Are they card guards?
Those are the heads of card guards.
Right.
Now, if you remember in the original Alice in Wonderland story, when Alice first comes upon card guards, they are in the rose garden and they are frantically painting the roses. They are white roses and the guards are painting them red, lest the Red Queen, or the Queen of Hearts, see the white roses and have a freak out. And so we have that theme here again, that obviously this time they didn't escape her wrath, and nor did Alice or her family. So it's a pretty cool scene, and I really like the labyrinth and all the geography that's been created in the background.
It is a great pick.
Yeah, and you can see there's a little portal up on the hill there. That reminds me of my favorite Jesus joke. Should I tell it?
I don't know.
It's the one where Jesus is up on the cross and like Peter is down and Peter, come here, my son, closer, I have something to tell you. And then Peter tries to like fight his way through the crowd. Anyway, this goes on for a while, and finally Peter gets up to where Jesus is hung up on the cross and goes, "What is it, my Lord?" And Jesus goes, "Peter, my son, I can see your house from here." And that's really corny. You can tell.
And they all sounded like Rick.
Morty, get the thing. We gotta go. All right. So we've had some progress on the Chaos Coin. This is the Lens Flare edition, which still included the heart elements, and of course we discussed this last week. And we also have this discussion going on over on Patreon. And in response to, and as a part of his work on this, Alex then sent along some updated bits of art. So this is the head side featuring the face of the Cheshire Cat.
Looking good.
And this is the slogan, the Latin, which I think we're going to be putting throughout the game, that kind of encapsulates one of the theories regarding PTSD and the trauma cycle, the grief cycle, and that is, in order to go past something, one way of looking at it in a modern sense is to accept it, but in the old way of thinking about it from the alchemy scene, in order to transform, you first had to dissolve. And so this solve et coagula, it literally means you must dissolve in order to reform.
Like a lobster's brain.
Just like a lobster's brain. I don't know how many of our audience have heard that, or it's in the new Jordan Peterson book, but it talks about when lobsters undergo trauma, which is for them, say, losing a fight, because there's not like a lot of lobster trauma. They don't have their cars repossessed. They don't get failing grades in lobster school. But if they lose in battle, their response is to melt their brains. Did you know that people don't know how old lobsters can live to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that fact.
They literally can reform every part of their body. So if they lose a claw, it grows back. If they lose a tail, it grows back. Starfish are similar. And starfish are even, I think supposedly you can break off large portions of starfish and then you end up with 2 starfish. So there are a lot of creatures in nature that do that, but the extent to which the lobsters melt themselves or lose a piece and then regrow is actually pretty phenomenal. And as a result, people don't actually know how long lobsters can live to be if it weren't for, say, a disease, right? If they get lobster cancer, or if they get lobster mold, or I don't know what, lobster athlete tail. Surely there's a spray for that. But anyway, if they get any of these horrible things, and then they may die. But the point was that if they lived in an environment where rocks didn't follow them, or they didn't get cancer from smoking, because lobsters smoke, it's a really big problem, then they might live forever.
And you, speaking about sea creatures with fantastic abilities, I've sort of had a remembering then of, if you put like sea sponges of different varieties in a blender, and you mush them up and you just pour it all out, eventually they will reform in their separate varieties.
That's crazy.
They won't just like become one big blobby mess. They will go back into their individual.
So you're saying they're racist?
Yes. They don't want to mix.
Lobsters live forever, and sea sponges are racist.
They don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There you go. The brilliance of the oceans.
So that's where our Latin comes from here, and we'll probably be seeing more of that and the theme of that throughout the game. He's also sent along, Alex has he's
rejiggled the tails side of the coin.
So this is the chaos side of the coin, which I think, okay, so if you remember, he had originally submitted something like this, which to me really feels very reminiscent of like a Chinese star I had when I was like 12 years old. A Chinese throwing star. Did you have those as a kid?
No, I was a good boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I had throwing knives and throwing stars, and I remember when I was around that age, like 10 or 11 or something, we went out to someone's country ranch, and I had gotten to be really proficient with these little throwing knives. And I could plunk a throwing knife into a bit of board at like 10 feet, 15 feet. And as a kid, that was fantastic. So I would just sit out. And I remember I used throwing knives so much on this one bit of fence that I knocked down a part of this woman's fence, and I got in a lot of trouble. So then I had all my throwing knives and throwing stars confiscated.
Damn.
I know. This is... I could have gone on to be a throwing star master. Anyway, this is the updated version, the chaos side of the coin, and I definitely prefer this because it's a lot less, well, it's closer to the design of the stuff that we've been making and selling, and I've got a tattoo of it. So yeah, we are going to push forward with this. There's still some comments which we'll go through today from our patrons regarding this design.
Lots of comments.
Lots of comments on this design. One of them is that this is a little too simple. And I don't know exactly how to argue against or for that, other than the fact that, like, because we already did a coin. We did a coin for Pirate Jam. And it's actually relatively simple. And I think there's something to be said for having one side be a little simple and the other side be a little more complex. But
let's show off the Pirate Jam coin.
I think
maybe
I've got
some
it.
people haven't seen it. Well, we've got it right here.
Yeah, it's there. Here, you hold it up. There you go, because I got a Lulu in my lap.
Ooh. Look at that.
So yeah, our Chaos coins will be like that, but they'll be a silver color. They'll have a different design on them, obviously. Yeah.
And should be in a lovely little collector's box. And
yeah, we're doing up a box.
It'd be nice, not just be a coin on its own.
Yep.
It's going to be good.
So,
for people that don't know, how could they get one of these coins? Should we do that later?
You can do a bit of sales if you want. I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay.
I won't stop you. Let's see here. If we
we'll
go
give them
to
a quick primer now. It's basically a goal on our Patreon. The next goal for when we hit 2,000 patrons. If you are part of the $35 tier on the month that we hit that 2,000 goal, you will get the coin. Woo!
It's up here somewhere.
It's, you need to go to...
Are you going to tell them how they can hack the system? Because I know that a lot of people have been bringing this up.
Yeah, so basically, we don't mind if you hack the system. Basically, just pledge at any low level you want until the month that we're going to hit 2,000 patrons. Then bump it up to the $35 level. Job done. Then you can either stay with us or you can cancel, do what you like.
Or you drop back down to $1 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, simple enough. Just you have to be at the $35 level at the month we hit 2,000 patrons.
Correct.
So, just so you know.
Yeah. All right. So, are you done with that?
Yeah, for now.
You're done with that for now. Good. Well, we're going to get back to art review.
Woo-hoo.
Because we do have some new stuff. Now, let's talk about this really quick. What did we do yesterday, Martin?
We did a lot of packing.
A lot.
A lot o' packing.
I thought you Brits said that like, alert, alert.
A lot.
Alert. So yeah, we did a lot of packing, but we went and picked up art prints for this image. And for those of you who've been getting prints from the Patreon or ordering from Mysterious, yesterday we stumbled upon a new print material. And I don't know exactly how to describe it. When it was shown to me in the shop person held up a Lonely Planet book, a guide. And the cover of that is a sort of plasticized thick paper.
Yes.
And on the order document it actually says that it's a 300 gram, I think that's how they measure it, 300 gram paper, which means it's actually quite thick. That it's got a really unique kind of slick feel to it, but it's matte, it's not shiny.
Yes.
And so the colors really pop off of it. And
these posters were gorgeous
they're
when they came out.
Fantastic. So we're switching over to using that as our print material for all the prints in Mysterious from now on. And so yeah, we did up a bunch of these yesterday. I think there's 45 of them going to patrons.
Yes, everybody that got charged at the correct level at the beginning of this month,
yeah,
they will get this poster.
Yeah.
You can see it's Callum. He's going to get one.
Yep, we did pop one in a tube for Callum.
Yeah,
I remember
that.
And so yeah, this image was printed out, looks gorgeous, and then I think from now on we're going to make sure that we go to the same material because it looks like it's really going to stand up and be really nice. So now this, no one has seen before.
I only saw it half an hour ago.
That's because while we were sleeping last night, I mean maybe not everyone in the stream, but while Martin and I were sleeping, and I don't mean together.
And I wasn't even sleeping.
That's because there was a massive, massive storm last night.
I woke up at 2:30 and didn't get back to sleep until about 6.
It was insane. Let's show them what it looks like outside right now. Because we did do this. I made that. I hope they can still hear us. That is Shanghai at the moment. And it has been raining cats and dogs. And I woke up last night at about 2 a.m. and it sounded like a bomb had gone off outside. It was so rattly and immense that I jumped out of bed and was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I was already up, and it was directly above. I'm sure it was. There was no delay between the flash and the sound, and the power went out. Scared me.
It was insane.
So I had to go downstairs and flip the breaker and all that.
Absolutely insane. Anyway, while all this was going on and it was raining cats and dogs last night, Joey was sending around to us this, which is the image, and she said this would be Alice in her mermaid mode, which is what this is right here. Mermaid Alice with her knife, and she's gone hunting. And I think in her email she said that Alice is hunting for something to do with these bubbles, but I can't remember exactly.
It's not turtle farts.
It might be turtle farts.
Okay.
It might be turtle farts. Have you seen this kind of goldfish before with the big blobs on their head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
I mean, they're purely bred. There's no way that they evolved to look like that in nature. I think this was...
Are those eyes or just bubbles placed?
No, that's a turtle fart. It's just placed oddly.
They kind of look like eyes.
Because on the actual globular head goldfish of this make, their eyes are actually down under the bubble.
Right.
And they're not. I don't think that they're very nice looking, and I always feel just bad for them. It's just you kind of feel like somebody ought to put them out of their misery.
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is a new piece of art from Joey, and again, she's thinking about gameplay mechanics. This would be a scene where we're swimming around here, and we're trying to collect turtle farts. Maybe we can stab this guy in the head and put him out of his misery.
Perhaps.
But, she's turning in some pretty good stuff. It does look like he's wearing lipstick, though. I wonder what's going on here. Maybe it's a she, not a he. I shouldn't misgender.
Don't misgender stuff,
oh
and don't say who can wear what. God damn it, American.
Oh boy, I'm in trouble now. I'm really in trouble now.
I'm going to be all over the internet tomorrow.
I don't know. Let me see if we can actually see what this type of goldfish is called. Oh, there it is. I mean, I typed in something that a 3-year-old would type in, which is
blobby head goldfish.
It's like when you see articles where a teacher has caught the kids using the internet in class to look up naked pictures, and they've typed in stuff like boobs and show me boobs. Anyway, at least I didn't type in booby head goldfish. I mean, it does kind of look like.
So what did that say? It was an oranda or something?
It's called an oranda. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this is the type of fish I think she's trying to...
I think the brain's on the outside.
It does look like the brain is on the outside.
I don't like it.
I'm not a big fan. But whenever you go round to the markets here, these things are incredibly common. And in fact, if you go into... It's not so much the case now, but it used to be the case that in China, if you ran a business and you wanted people to think that the business was luxury, you had a big fish tank somewhere in the... You remember that? Like hospitals would do that. No?
I remember seeing giant aquariums as you go into restaurants and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's for the eating. I mean, there's also, places where you would go into a building, like a lobby or something like that. And, they'd have these fish tanks filled, and oftentimes with these blobby head oranda goldfish. Did you know that this fish can literally see out the top of its head? It's a barrel-eye fish, and its head is transparent.
I've never seen that fish before.
That is an actual thing.
And see out of the top.
Yeah, well, he's got a transparent head.
That's mental.
It is mental. And look what this guy thinks about that. What the fuck? You can see out the top of your head? All right. Maybe we should have a barrel-head fish in there. Maybe. Now, she's also sent along some storyboards.
Bingo!
And this is saying that you're going to get colorful bubbles from the shell. So these are not turtle farts. I think we should have turtle farts. These are bubbles from a shell, and the shell is dangerous.
Do it fast.
Do it fast. Clamp. Clamp, says the shell.
Did she spell clamp with an E?
It might be.
Or maybe clampo.
Clampo. And, ooh, look at that dead fish. So you then have to swim to the cemetery and find the remains of the Golden Queen. By the way, I've not reviewed this yet, so there is a possibility that at the end of these panels, Joey's going to have a picture of someone's junk. We just have to just be prepared. Ask the children to leave the room. So anyway, you stick these bubbles into the skull of the Golden Fish Queen, and then I assume this is how she comes to life.
Collect enough bubbles to bring back golden.
What? Golden fish. Bring back the golden fish. And
bingo!
Was that in the James Bond movie recently? And then the Hans, what's his name? He said bingo in a very creepy way. So now the golden fish may make your wish come true. Oh, well, that's nice. You can wish.
So you don't have to stab the golden queen fish.
But what if my wish is to stab her?
Well, you can, because the wish will come true.
Interesting.
There can be multiple wishes.
Now, can you imagine like trying to actually implement a wishing system in a video game? That would be.
They did in Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
But I mean, was it an infinite, an unlimited? You know, could Alice?
It was a selection.
Of course. So I'm just saying, can you imagine? I can imagine that someone could actually build a system where, you know, you ask the game, you know, give me a jet to fly. And there's probably enough data out there now about 3D models and what jets flying look like and so on, that the system could create for you on the fly a game where you're flying around flying a jet.
Well, Scribblenauts was kind of like that.
Yeah.
You ever play that?
Yeah, exactly.
Ace.
It was Ace. So there's Alice in mermaid form. And she's got some scales here for reference.
Let's see people cosplay that.
They're going to have to flop around on the floor, aren't they? That's a good thought, Martin. Let's make the new Alice all about costumes which are nearly impossible to cosplay in. That's a kind of a fun goal. Why is Alice in a barrel? Roll around, motherfucker! No, that wouldn't be nice. It would result in some pretty funny videos coming out of the cons, though. Like, you can imagine if we just did that on purpose. Like, let's design a series of Alice costumes to be the most obnoxious for wearing to a con, right? So then they all go to a cosplay convention. Anybody that shows up in one of these costumes is just automatically hated. And then maybe there's even someone who says, right, you can't wear that to our convention anymore.
Just have a costume made out of like realistic guns. They wouldn't let that in a convention.
This is probably true.
So much art we can choose for next month's poster.
There really is. Now, I told her to hold off on the finalizing of this image. I did ask her when she does her concept illustrations in the future, don't put UI elements on them, because that's what this was meant to be. It's her suggesting that this might be Alice's sort of health screen or something like that. And so I said, please don't do that, because it sort of distracts. And that's not the point of these types of images. But we got a really good response to this.
Super chat. Ice Killer is back. Hello. Thank you for that. Yes, unfortunately we can't see your lovely, beautiful face. All we can see is a circle with an eye in it. So we're just going to have to imagine what your beautiful face looks like.
Yeah.
But yes, nice to see you back.
Derpy Horse says that he or she, I don't know which one it is, didn't come to support a game with a swimming level. We understand that. We're not really big fans of swimming levels. I think we've already established that, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
But maybe it could go down in history as the first ever game with a good swimming level.
It could, but I think this is how you end up with games that have crap swimming levels in them. You know, it's sort of... we can fix this, and I think that kind of hubris is exactly why you end up with crap in games. You know, to this doll, I mean, it's pretty messed up, and someone's been using it as a pincushion as well. I kind of thought this was supposed to be her happy place. When I was talking with Joey about this, she was mentioning that it was sort of a place that children would go to be safe and to get away from their problems, and yet here's a doll with pins stuck in its head.
Maybe that's how she unwinds.
Someone's unwinding by doing that. Yeah. Now this is going to create a boatload of controversy because das German font. But Alice is not German. It's British.
What would that be? Is it Teutonic? Is that what they would call it?
I don't know, but anyway,
That's
actually not what's going to cause the controversy. I think what's going to cause the controversy is that Joey has, and I don't know why, because I did not ask her to do an Alice portrait or a face, but she clearly decided that such a study was necessary. Mm-hmm. And so Joey has sent along this, which is, as you can see, she has labeled it Alice Portrait in the German font.
She's probably just got a load of fonts that she's never used.
I don't know,
she's just
maybe
getting some value for money out of them.
Maybe. So there's a couple things going on here that would cause controversy. Now she did get the eye color right. You know, Alice is supposed to have green eyes, so kudos on Joey for kind of getting that right. The hair color always comes up as a bit of a controversy. I'm curious to know from the chat what color you believe Alice's hair to be.
Oh, it's going to be the next Laurel and Yanny, or the next dress thing.
Well,
black or brown.
There is a reason for debate, because I'd say we've not always been consistent. If you sort of look at the box cover for the original game, would you say that that's
brown?
It certainly looks brown. I don't know if you guys can see that clearly, but here is what I...
So there we go. Brown, black, brown, but reddish brown.
Yeah, I mean, I think you
Dark
could maybe
brown,
call
black,
that a bit of a reddish brown. I don't think Joey's interpretation here is too far off. But I will say that I do hear people. I have seen comments before where people say, it should be black. Now if you look at it in the game, there's a definite reddish tint to it here in game, right? And that's pretty clear. But here's a marketing poster where it's probably brownish without the red, except for the reflection in the background there. It's a bit all over the place. I don't think we need to be too bothered by it. I don't think that Joey's interpretation is too far off, but I think there will be people who... No, so, this is... I think this is the image that Omri did, so we can't trust that. But, here's one where it's distinctly black. And this is also taken from Madness Returns. And if you look at the cover of Madness Returns, it's definitely darker. See how it's gone to black? Yeah.
I guess it should be brown then. Yeah. It shouldn't be like black in Asylum, then go to brown for Alice, and then back to black for Madness Returns.
You could imagine a progression from a lighter color to a reddish color to a black color. So like when I was a kid, I was born with nearly white hair. And then as I aged, my hair got darker. And now it's going back to white. So it could be that she started off with lighter hair. Of course, in the books, she has blonde hair. Or at least in the Disney movie she does. I'm going to be careful about that.
Yes.
But
I had super blonde hair when I was a kid.
I think that's pretty common.
Like golden-haired child.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. So, anyway, this is Joey's portrait. Now, the other thing I think people can get upset about here is, well, what age is this? Obviously, the facial structure is a little strange. I mean, we've got side-on pictures of Alice's face, and I don't think there's a lot of them that look like this. This has come out a little different. But anyway, let's not get all wrapped up in it. Keep in mind that we are in a pre-production and concept phase, and that nothing that we see here is final.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that won't stop people complaining.
No, there'll be
somewhere down the line.
There will be.
I remember seeing in one of your streams that Summit, and it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, no, there will be comments on YouTube where people are saying, "What? That's not the color of her hair. I'm starting a petition to have this banned, to have you thrown in jail."
There'll be some. What's the petition website?
I can't remember now.
Probably petition.org.
I think it's I'm pissed off and I want to do something about it, except I don't really want to, so I'll start a petition.com. Is that the one you're talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah. Now, is that Blade Siskadal, the one we were making fun of his address?
Welsh chum. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
They've got a poster winging its way over.
Can you even say...
I can't speak Welsh, but I know it's... then it's a crazy old language.
It was insane. We got the address because I think he won a contest last week, and I cannot, for the life of me, read, much less pronounce the thing that he claims is his address. I don't know. It seems to me as if he lives in the world of Cthulhu. But speaking of contests,
anyway, thank you, Blade Siskadal.
Thank you, Blade,
for the £2.
And yeah, speaking of contests,
we can't spend that on wine.
No, we're not drinking anymore. So speaking of
contests,
for a
couple of weeks,
we can do a contest now. Lulu,
we can. What
Lulu, it's contest time. What kind of treat do you want to give to the people? Treat? There's a treat. People need a treat. Lulu, give people a treat. So what are we going to give them?
What have we got? We're running out of stuff in the office.
I don't know. You guys, you gotta choose. You gotta say something in the chat. I'm gonna give you a minute to do that, and then we're going to give away. Why don't we give away some of that? I thought we had a bunch of. What were we gonna do? A bunch of art? Weren't we gonna give away some art?
Some art?
Why don't we give away art prints? We have art prints that we said we were gonna put on sale. So we're gonna put a bunch of art prints on sale. So we will give away an art print. We're gonna give away. We have some of this.
Should we do Belly of the Beast? We've definitely got some Belly of the Beast.
All right, we're going to give away this, which is Belly of the Beast by your favorite artist, Joey. And
I love this pic.
It's a beautiful image. It is printed on a very nice, thinner stock, but it's a nice poster stock. And so this is going to go to...
Oh, let me jot this down.
Start a fresh page. I cleared all that out. You got to start a fresh page. At least fold it in half. It's going to make me crazy. Okay, I think we've gotten them all lined up there for the contest. So, here we go. If you have just recently won something, I don't know, it's an art print. Maybe it's different. Don't worry about it. Just win again. All right, Lucas. Didn't he just win something?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, congratulations, Lucas. You won an art print. You know the drill. You need to PM to my YouTube account with your mailing address, email address, phone number, and you could also mention that you won Belly of the Beast, though Martin has written it down to ensure that there's no shenanigans.
Don't be coming around here with your shenanigans.
Yeah, but don't forget to put all that stuff. It's amazing how when people send in their details, like, they leave out important bits like their street address.
And if you live in Poland, was it Poland?
It was Poland. We got the really
format your address in a way that we can understand.
Yes, please. It's funny how often I have to Google stuff. I feel like I am one of those crime detective TV shows. And like I've got a clue as to where maybe the person lives, but I didn't have to spend time with the computer system and like trace it down. So the funny thing is, because I do that with Google Maps, I oftentimes end up seeing where you live, and it's not really what I want to be spending my time doing. I don't know what else to do. I've not yet trained Lulu how to sort out addresses for people who've won contests.
You bite bad addresses.
Yes. So that brings us to the end of Art Review. That all was timed perfectly. Did we do that on purpose?
I see a couple of emails have come in. Is one of them from Alex?
One of them is from Alex, but why is that? Why is that what we're doing right now?
Because there might be something good to show off.
No, there's not. No.
This top anything?
He's showing off the instructions for Out of the Woods.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
You want to show those off? They're huge. I don't want to download stuff while we're in the middle of a stream.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, we're going to go to play the game. And while we're playing the game, Martin is going to read your comments from Patreon. And also, we are happy to...
Yes, as usual. Which way do I point? That way. For the chats. You know, chatters, as we've said before, sometimes, you know, chats go past and we don't see what you say. So if you like, you can super chatters. We don't mind that one bit.
Do I get extra points or like any kind of... Because the dog has decided that she's installed here, and then I have to play the game like this.
Well, Blade Cisco has sent us £2 to get a Lulu close-up.
Lulu, she's sort of sleeping.
She can wake up for £2.
This is actually... It's a good girl. This is what she does when I'm working. She lays on my lap like
Lulu,
this.
Don't destroy anything.
Don't destroy the office. That's a good girl. What's going on?
Go on, she can get closer to the camera
Oh,
than that.
man, you're really tempting the fates here. Hello!
Lulu,
what's that?
This one.
If she bites your finger, I'm going to laugh. All right. There we go. That's a good girl.
Lucas, do it through PM on American's YouTube channel. Don't do it through chat. So yes, it should be easy if you go into American's channel and have a look. There should be like 3 dots and contact us and stuff.
So Ice Killer 158, thank you for the $5. And you say, I have a friend who was born blonde and blonde in childhood and then suddenly became black in adulthood due to some sort of disease. Maybe she was out in the sun too long?
Can that happen? Blonde to black? That seems crazy.
I don't know. That sounds very strange. Due to some sort of disease. But I like this where Lucas is sending us money to ask how to send us his address.
Well, he should know now.
I wish more people would do that when they were confused. Pay us to be confused.
But yes, let's fire up Patreon on the phone, and we'll go through some comments. I'm going to have to like speed do these because there's a ton of them.
There are a ton.
There's an epic amount.
Yeah, it's insane. I thought we did this once already.
Don't know.
Yeah, we made it through here before. Oh well. We're gonna do it. Ow! I just got stabbed up the top of the head.
It's not good.
Am I dead?
Yes.
That was a very slow death.
Maybe if I put Wi-Fi on, this might actually load.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention there, so I don't think that one really counts.
Let's give that a minute. Oh, there we go.
That was a bit strange.
Email from YouTube. American McGee is now live.
Oh, good.
Excellent. Be sure to tune into that. Right. Posts.
So last time we were here, I mentioned that this is actually one of my favorite areas in terms of the artwork and the level layout. And I mean, I also suppose that as far as a sort of mode switch in gameplay, this is one of the least terrible things we could do to you in terms of switching up how you play the game. And this actually is, I mean, I'm retarded, but I can figure this out, and I don't feel frustrated at working my way through this, nor do I feel like I'm going to die arbitrarily, which is good. There's not much to it, but then, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm playing.
As long as you're having fun.
You know, right now, I mean, we're both playing, or maybe you finished, but playing God of War, and there's, you know, sort of air quote puzzles in there, but they're really not. I mean, they lock you into a space, and they make the solution almost sort of mandatory. Like you can't not figure it out.
Yes.
And so I mean, in terms of actual puzzle solving, it's relatively simple, and yet it's still gratifying.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a super chat from Michael Tarnock. Tarnock, £2. Shut up and take my money. Fry GIF meme. I'm up late for this. Oh, thank you for joining us late. Probably is quite late in England now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael, for the £2.
It is.
It's like 2 a.m.
It's 2:30.
Yeah. He's serious about hanging out with us if he's up at 2:30.
He is.
Now that actually brings us to a point that was made in a recent Patron post, which you're supposed to be scrolling through and looking at the comments. Hint, hint.
I'm doing it. You've just been waxing lyrical. I'm waiting for my moment.
Oh. Well, which was the question of doing live streams. I wish they could see this picture laid out here. Doing live streams later in our day so that people in the EU, UK, that whole zone over there, they could join us at a time that's not like 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you are a patron and you're interested in us streaming at a time that's more convenient for you, go over to that post and give us some suggestions on when you might like to see us streaming. So for people in the EU, UK zone, it's a bit more convenient.
Yep. Okay, so this post was the graveyard image, the what time can we do streams, and update to the back of the Chaos coin post. So what do we got? David Dixon. Oh my god, Patron just crashed.
Martin, I don't believe you. I think you're just sat over there doing nothing.
It did. I'm gonna have to. Oh, god damn it!
I really feel like you're just farting around over there.
I have to click load more comments about 17 times again.
I think you and Lulu are just messing about, just sleeping on the job.
Lulu's definitely sleeping on the job.
She is. My leg's going to sleep too. I don't know how much longer I can put up with this.
Should be better. We've got comfy chairs now.
We do have comfy chairs.
Yeah, I've got a comfy UK chair. I don't know if you can see my Union Jack.
I couldn't find an American flag chair. Go figure.
Oh well. But you could just get an American flag and drape it over it.
I could.
Yeah. Right, David Dixon. Loving the art. It's stunning. Please make it the monthly art reward. It is nice. Liking the new iteration of the coin. Caitlin Sudkamp. Loving the coin design. Wants to raise their patron level for that. Go for it. Andre Divine, loving all the updates. In regards to the patch, I see the updates but don't know where to go about ordering. Please advise.
The embroidery patch.
Yeah, I guess we'll reply to him later online, but if he's watching now, which I don't know, they will be available on Mysterious at some point.
They will.
The factory has been given the files.
Yeah, no, it's actually in production right now. Okay, there we just lost the dog. Thank God, my leg was falling asleep. Yeah, the patches are actually being manufactured as we speak, and they are meant to be finished with manufacturing by the end of this month. And then once they have been manufactured, they'll probably take, like most of the things from our shop, take sort of 20 days or so to be delivered. And so we should expect that this is May. Well, we're getting close to the end of the month. So they should be done with manufacturing by the end of May, and then off to delivery.
Yay.
Yeah. And that's happening as we speak. And it's all done. The cards are done, the backing cards and all that kind of good stuff. So
then we can have a big pile of them here for stream giveaways.
Prizes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we will not be giving away the special patron-only one. No. Only the patrons got that one.
Sarah Heist. Kind of a morbid one. She's talking about her mother's death.
Oh, no.
Let's skip that.
Well, really? Why would you do that?
I don't know. Seems weird to talk about it on a live stream.
Well, she posted it
well,
in the
it's
comments.
an impending death, so it's like they know it's coming.
Why don't you just read it, Martin?
Maniacally laughed as I saw the beginning of this post, directly after discussing my mother's impending death with her, through the analogy of it being like a really bad GPS system. But,
yes. So I don't think that she's being morbid. I think she's making the point that, as the heading suggests, all paths do in fact lead to death. And, in some sense, our awareness of that is what creates the existential crisis and doubt within our existence, that a lot of people then spend their lives being really unhappy about the fact that they're going to die, and they may even sort of lash out against reality by engaging in retarded behavior, drugs, and risky whatnot. But the embracing of the fact that we have a very limited period of time here on the planet can lead to... These guys are fighting. Stop that. Don't fight. But yeah, it can lead to a kind of freedom. If you accept that, hey, I'm a being of limited time and energy, then it can actually make you think, well, I'm going to be more efficient about what I'm doing with my life. I'm not going to waste my life. Are you coming to fight with me, or what's going on? Come on, dude, let's fight.
Other than that, the game is going to be important, and the work you're doing is invaluable. Art is gorgeous. Okay. Another Sarah here. Loves the art piece. The coin looks amazing. Rachel Garza. Hi. New artwork is lovely. Chaos symbol looks more in line with what we've seen along the way now. Liking the less clunky design. Lucas Severin likes it. Very dark, beautiful piece of art.
Lucas just won something.
Yeah.
Yay, Lucas.
Like lots of little tombstones and a maze. Wants to find death by cake. Okay. So I'm dying here. I'm dying munching on my favourite dessert. What is your favourite dessert? What's your favourite dessert?
I'm a big fan of like the lemon or lime key lime pie. I love key lime pie because I'm a big fan of things that are sour or spicy. So yeah, that would be key lime pie for me.
I don't like a citrusy thing.
I like the sourness of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, really yummy.
I don't know what my favourite would be. I like profiteroles.
What exactly is a profiterole?
It's kind of like a pastry ball with cream in it. Very nice. We have a weird super chat. I assume it's 50 MX. Mexican dollars.
Woohoo! 50 MX.
Thank you, Casey Caliban. The previous games ended in a rather optimistic way. Since the new game is a prequel, how are you going to approach this?
I'm sorry, I was trying not to get stabbed in the head just now, so I didn't quite make that out. So Casey Caliban says, the previous games ended in a rather optimistic way. Since this is a prequel, how are you going to approach this in the new game? This is a very good question. This is a question that definitely requires some thinking, because you're right. We're going to start off at a period essentially where her family's still alive, and then we're going to see her dropped into the asylum, and you're going to battle your way through. Now, the normal expectation we would have at the end of something like that is that you would end on a high note, because that's how traditional Western 3-act narrative structure works, is, things are okay, things go bad, hero defeats the things end okay. Now, we obviously can't have that in this game. And this is something that we saw, come up yesterday. People were talking about a kind of preview review of the new Han Solo movie. And because it's a prequel, what happens is that a lot of the stakes are removed, because we as the audience recognize that, hey, Han Solo is a main character. I know he exists in the movies that exist after this one, therefore it's impossible that Han Solo is going to die in this movie. And that takes away a lot of the tension, a lot of the suspense that you would normally have in a film. And I think we have the same problem here. The Star Wars movie, the Star Trek movies did a kind of funny thing, which is a bit of a cheat, and some people complained about it. I thought it was okay, but they basically did the whole alternate universe trick, and they said, right, this is now Star Trek Universe B, and it's got all the same characters in it, but because of somebody mucking about with the timeline, we can now have a different path going forward based on some decisions that were made differently. Yada yada, right? How did you feel about
Eric Bana messing the timeline up?
Well, how did you feel about Star Trek doing something like that?
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it.
I like my sci-fi as much as the next nerd, but I'm not so precious about it that I'm one of these people who will rage and fight against change.
But I think if it's done in the context of a movie that entertains and that you enjoy, and that you enjoy the characters and you feel sympathy and compassion and humor along with them during the journey, you're not so concerned about the time conundrums. Okay, yeah, physically on a technical level this wouldn't happen, this wouldn't be possible, but I watched that movie and had a good time. Anyway, when we get to Alice, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Blame it on a distortion in the space-time continuum. But when we get to Alice, I think we're probably not going to go that route. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I doubt that we're going to find ourselves sort of. I hate these doors that aren't doors. That should be illegal. We're not going to probably find ourselves What? It's not.
I'm just remembering real fake doors from Rick and Morty. Interdimensional TV.
That was such a good ad. And then he goes home. Is this still the commercial? Is that the one? Is that the one where it's he actually goes back, gets in his car and goes home? Yeah, that's a really
real
good
fake
one.
Doors.
Oh my god. Then I think Rick's like, man, they're really committed to this bit. I just want to say one more time, yes, I suck at playing my own game. No, it is not easy for me to expound on the potential narrative structure of this new chapter while also sucking. So you're gonna have to. If I could do one or the other by itself, I'd probably be better at any one of them. But as it is. So, short answer, I think I keep ignoring this door.
People are giving you advice.
Yeah, what are they saying? Stop sucking.
See that heart, run to it. Something about jumping in water I saw earlier as well.
Get good, I thought was going to be...
Get good is probably a good one.
I thought that was going to be there. Wah! Oh, okay, I see. So, I think we have this issue here, though. That's not a place I could actually jump in. That was horrible. That was so buggy and terrible. That shouldn't even be allowed to exist. Look, I think at the end of Asylum, there are going to be stakes and risks and threats that exist within Wonderland. And that means that we've got a sort of a B setting in the foreground, while the A setting of the Asylum is in the background. And that's one way of saying... Yeah, we already know we're going to start at the beginning of the first Alice game, at American McGee's Alice. But I do think that we can set up narrative stakes for other characters, for Alice, and for Wonderland itself that matter within the context of her adventure in Wonderland for this story. And we may, for instance, introduce a character in the Asylum who Alice is friends with, and that character could die, or that character could be released as a function of Alice's actions, so she sacrifices herself in the end, and one of her Asylum mates is freed as a result. I can think of half a dozen tropes like that where it doesn't break the narrative continuum within the games that exist so far. Okay, that was a really long-winded way of saying we'll figure it out. Well, I mean, it's a really interesting topic. I like this topic a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been thinking about a lot of different ways we could go about increasing or raising the stakes, making it feel meaningful, and also at the same time not pissing ourselves off about time travel or other kinds of nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah.
While that was going on, that chat, there's a bunch of people were saying that they were being made admins in the chat, and then it was going. I think something's broken with YouTube.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. It was like 5 minutes ago now, but they kept saying they had admin powers for like a minute.
And then were they kicking themselves off the channel or something?
I don't think anything bad happened. It was still a weird thing to happen.
That's interesting. I don't know why that would happen, but then again, nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes with these platforms. Google, Facebook, Twitter, they all seem to like jerking us around. Have you read the most recent scandal, which is starting to pop up yesterday regarding YouTube, and that is that, you know, they took away the power of the bell, the subscribe button.
Right.
And the feed. So, you know, one by one, these things that we employ to find the content that we like. So for instance, it used to be that you would simply subscribe to a channel and that would show up in your subscriptions, and then you'd get notification when anything that you subscribed to had updated. Now that's gone. So just subscribing to something does not mean you're going to get notification. Then they employed the bell, and the idea was that you smash that bell, and you're going to get a notification whenever that content creator puts something up on YouTube. They then came out and said, yeah, no, actually we've destroyed that functionality. The bell no longer matters. We may or may not give you that content. It doesn't guarantee anything. And so obviously YouTube creators were upset. It's like, well, what's the point of having a bell if you're not going to give people my content? And now the latest news is that on your subscription page, they're testing out the idea that what appears there is no longer in chronological order. And that means that if you go to, which is what I do, I go to subscriptions in order to see what's new, because I assume, well, if somebody I like uploaded something yesterday, it's going to be in yesterday's section of the page. No, that's not how it is now.
YouTube are just the worst.
They
have no idea how to run their own chuffing platform.
Well, but your sense is that they are doing this because they care about the same things you care about. Oh no, look, it's another...
Oh no!
Oh no, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this game! The fans are going to go bonkers! They're going to start a change.org petition to have me lynched for having your photo in here. Jesus, get out! Get out! Man, that's it.
No, I realize that YouTube's priorities do not align with ours as such, but yeah, they just do seem to make a lot of really terrible decisions.
Well, you're calling them terrible decisions. From their view, these are not terrible decisions. Their goal, and if you go and read, so Google owns YouTube. If you go and read when Google met Wikipedia, that's another evil CIA-run organization, by the way, with my Alex Jones hat put on, I'm going to tell you that. If you go read when Google met WikiLeaks, which is the Julian Assange organization, the Eric Schmidt and some other executives from Google laid out their very specific intentions for controlling people via the media stream and the information platforms in order to bring about a happier, healthier, crime-free society. And so our thought is that, you're here to serve customers, and their thought is, like an evil James Bond villain, we know better. They want to be the nanny.
Without her generalship, Red Wings were doomed.
Sure.
As am I,
Sure set. Super Chatsers, thank you very much. The Husky is a big fan of Lulu. He says, "Ow."
I'm not really a player.
Please pass the message. Thank you, American and Martin. Well,
she was chasing the doorbell.
She's gone. We'll ow to Lulu later.
You might have heard the doorbell a moment ago. That is the constant stream of things from Taobao arriving at our front door.
We don't of stuff that you get.
We people living here in China, we don't go shopping anymore. There's no need. It's all done online. It's done on our phones even now, and everything from the finding of the product to paying for it takes place instantly online. And then we get this constant stream of delivery guys showing up at the door with packages. It's like Christmas every 5 minutes.
Now return as you came. The rooks know the way.
The cutscene's over. I can do more comments.
Oh, no, wait, you can't do that. You know why? Martin?
It'll take forever to get through these comments.
You know what time it is?
Hammer time.
It's hammer time. What art print are we going to give away this time?
Go back. Let's have a look at your list of prints. Let's see what I remember seeing.
Well, you guys need to spaz out in the comments there, because you got to let Nightbot know that you exist, and we're going to do another giveaway.
What have we got? Should we do Queensland or?
We have quite a few of those, but I can tell you this: we cannot print more of those.
Okay.
Those are pretty limited edition. I should actually jack up the price on those.
A Rapunzel? Rapunzel's big. Does it fit in the tubes?
It does and doesn't. I mean, we can make it work.
What's on page 3?
Junk! Martin, why is your junk on page 3? Yeah, we could do one of these.
Do a Red in the Woods. We definitely got some Red in the Woods.
Okay. I think that's a beautiful print. I really like it a lot.
Let's do a Red in the Woods.
We sent some of these off yesterday.
Yeah. At least one.
All right, well, whoever wins this round of the contest is going to get a signed, autographed copy of Red in the Woods from Mysterious. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Jot this down. The lucky winner.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, you're not supposed to super chat us in the middle of right about to do a contest, but yes, Michael Tanuk, thank you for the £2. And yeah, I also heard that Google dropped their motto, "Don't be evil." That was in reaction to an internal employee petition to stop them on a project called Project Maven. And Maven was where they were going to employ their massive brains and their supercomputers and their super smart AI to make armed drones smarter at killing people. So it's a bit evil, and I think it's a bit. I think they've gone full hypocrisy, and they realized we can't continue having this as our slogan if we're gonna.
It's been officially dropped.
Yeah, they dropped it yesterday.
Right.
And it happened at the same time that this whole drone program thing came out. So yeah, pretty crazy. Can you imagine if you just you're hanging around with your phone out and you tweeted something that Google thought was sexist and then you just get droned. You're just I mean, never mind getting banned from the platform. It's just no, and then you're dead.
Or if your Android phone just stopped working. We don't agree with that.
Well, that's going to happen anyway. That's for sure going to happen. All right, so here we go. We are now loaded up on Nightbot. I'm going to roll it.
Click it.
Someone is going to win Red in the Woods. Walrus Flails.
Walrus Flails.
I like that name.
I'm sure they probably do occasionally.
I think walruses do flail. They can't really do much else. If you're only equipped with flippers, would your default move not be flailing? Is there another way to describe this?
Probably flail a lot on land.
Well, I'm sure underwater they're as graceful as can be, but on land, certainly they flail. We should go to do some research on this. Yeah.
Part of our What Sea Life Can Do series.
Well, I mean, it's all important, It all goes into the game one way or another.
There we go. Walrus Flails. You've been jotted down on my shonky piece of paper.
So, Walrus, you need to do the thing. Go on, Morty, do the thing. Send us your email address. I've been watching Rick and Morty again. So send us your email address, your home mailing address, your phone number, and your email address, and make sure you kind of note that you won the Red in the Woods art print. That'll help me when I'm doing up your shipping label.
Yeah, and that's PM'd through YouTube, and not written in the chat.
Yeah, also, if you happen to live in the land of Cthulhu, where your address is all backwards, and try to format it for us people who don't live in the land of Cthulhu, just try to help me out a little bit there.
Walrus may live under the sea.
Well, exactly. So that's going to be an address that sounds like you're saying it with a bunch of bubbles in your mouth.
Turtle farts.
Turtle farts in your mouth. It's not good.
So there you go. Walrus. Well done you.
Yeah.
Let's get to some Patreon comments, because there's a lot to do. Fern K loves the story for the image and all the other updates. Looking forwards to more. Igor Chernyshchenko as an EU resident, would love to see the live stream. So yeah, maybe we can look into a later one. The last time we tried that, we didn't get many people watching.
No,
maybe we just didn't advertise it.
I think that's a combination of we have a large percentage of our audience in the U.S. That's just a natural thing. and also we probably didn't advertise it, and so.
Next time we do it, we'll have an immense clickbait title and image, and we'll advertise it, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, sounds good.
Monica Dreiss, just talking about what time slots to avoid. But you're giving us suggestions for the EU people. Okay. Claire North, again, more suggestions for us about what time for the EU stream. And loving the new Chaos coin. Jana North, loving that Maisie Gravy artwork. Just wow. What else we got here? Loving the Chaos coin. And again, suggesting what time we can stream at. Quite a lot packed into her little comment. Oh.
You getting tired of the comments over there, Martin?
No, it's just I've scrolled a bit and I can see a massive one coming up.
Who is that? It's not Anthony, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Ina.
Oh, Ina.
Yeah.
All right.
But first, we have Austin Cook. Wow, this art is breathtaking. Really enjoying Omri's art. Really does awesome art. Oh, I have to take a breath for this one, Ina.
I just wanted to see what happened, because I feel like I've had to backtrack an awful lot here, and I feel like that's wrong. But then again, it does feel like something we would have done in this game, just because. So anyway, so what's going on there? Take a deep breath and tell us what's happening, Martin.
As always, Omri delivers another masterpiece, adoring his work, story, and personality he puts into it. Criticizing the fact that Alice is wearing stiletto boots in that image, though.
Yeah, well, I think that kind of criticism is fair. It's fine to note it, as long as you don't go and start a change.org petition to have us taken off of the project, because obviously we understand, we've said before, all the art that's getting done is conceptual, nothing is final. When I see stuff like that, it doesn't even really register. I just go, yeah, no, I know that's not what the final art is going to look like, and so it's not like you're wasting your breath to say it, but you're sort of wasting your breath to say it. Like, yes, we know she's not going to
preaching to the choir.
You are preaching to the choir.
Also loving the version of the Chaos coin. Suggesting a time for the EU stream. Oh, nothing between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Hong Kong time. It's quite a big chunk he wants cutting out.
Nothing between 8 to 8. But that's when we... that's essentially the time in which we would like to do it. So, Martin, what do you prefer? Do you prefer... Because we did one time, we stayed up really late. Remember that? Like
that late? Was that 10 o'clock, wasn't it, or something?
Look, dude, I'm in bed in my pajamas at 10 almost every night. And we'll stay up until midnight watching Rick and Morty or whatever. But, like, by 10 p.m., I want to be in a relaxed state. But you didn't answer the question.
Oh,
for you?
For me, I don't care. I do any time. You could say we'll do a stream at like 4 a.m. and I wouldn't care.
What? I don't believe you. Don't listen to Martin. He's full of it.
I just sleep really badly anyway, so I'll probably be awake anyway. What else? I'll be missing out on the next live stream. Oh, so it's Ina's time to travel. Oh, I guess maybe you haven't seen the name in the chat.
But now Ina has gone to visit someone.
It's my time to travel a bit. That's all they say.
Oh, well, so somebody I saw in the comments said that they'd met somebody here in our live streams and that they had decided they were going to go meet.
Maybe it's this. Through this wonderful gathering of weirdos, I found friendships I never thought possible. I'm meeting Panda Ness on Sunday.
Who said that?
Ina.
That's what I just said.
I just got... It's a massive comment.
Ah, boy.
Takes time to read.
Well, anyway, so what's going to happen is next week there's going to be news that so-and-so killed so-and-so, and it's going to be our fault. It's going to be all about... But, I've told you my idea about starting a company called Disaster Marketing. No? This is where, like, you have a product to market, so you hire a blimp or an airship or something, or an airplane, and then you fill up a bunch of reporters with in that vehicle with your product, like say the new cell phone that no one's ever heard of, and then you crash it into a mountain. And so the thing is that it's terrible, people died, but your product gets a lot of exposure that it otherwise wouldn't have got. So if Ina goes off and murders somebody and like wears that person's skin or makes a lampshade out of it, and then it gets into the news, it could be good for our project.
So
just thinking selfishly here.
You'd have to change the name of the company after each marketing thing. Because nobody would come back after the first go.
Well, I mean, you'd think if the thing was called disaster marketing, they'd fucking know better than to go to your events. But
people might think
there's
it's ironic.
There's a lot of press people in the world, and that just came out the other day. It was saying that there was a research study about people in the press, and it said that they tend to be alcoholics, they tend to be depressed, they tend to be a bunch of the things that you would expect those people to be, given that they tend to be kind of crap at a lot of stuff. So, woo.
Nice effect.
So I don't know. There's a lot of starving journalists out there. You tell them that it's a free airplane ride and champagne, and you'll always have a supply of journalists to murder for your press events.
Yeah. Hashtag hypothetically.
Hypothetically. We would never actually... We are not like Google. See, we actually talk about evil things and then don't do them. Unlike Google, who claims not to be evil and then actually does the most extremely evil things the world has ever seen. It's a bit of hypocrisy, Oh, look.
What else we got? Sarah Dam. Artwork is really nice. Again, wants it to be poster of the month. And more timing of the streams, what do they say? Anything after 1 o'clock Hong Kong time would be nice. Well, that's better than what Ina said.
Anything after 1 p.m.?
1 p.m.
Oh, okay. That even 1 a.m.
No. Catherine Sandstall. Loving the idea of the graveyard in the image. Instead of headstones, they could be like Vlad the Impaler style, with all the heads on pikes surrounding her.
I thought that a
fortress.
few of them were on pikes, were they not?
Well, yeah, but I guess they're saying instead of gravestones.
But the gravestones are for her parents. Anyway. In that image, huh?
She says it don't look spectacular anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just, be consistent.
Marin Soletti. Love the idea of the graveyard echoing with her parents' tombs. Keep up the great work. Nina Noriel. Wonderful art by Omri, as it always is. Loves that it's in the maze.
You got a super chat there, Martin.
I know it's irrelevant now, but I'm the model in his picture. Alice Wake Up, which you used for the promo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very nice.
Excellent. I do see a super chat.
Blade again.
How's my progress on God of War? It's done, pretty much. Completed the story like a week and a half ago, and I was actually completing all the side quests as I was going. So yeah, by the time I'd actually finished the story, my progress through the game was probably it was about 90%. But I may have burnt out a little bit.
You don't want to play it anymore?
There's literally...
Boy,
one
don't
thing,
give up!
Possibly 2 things left to do. And I've 100%ed the game. But yeah, I'm burnt out.
You went pretty mental on that game, though.
I must have racked... There's got to be like 100 hours on my save file.
You went pretty mental on that game.
Playing it a lot. I mean, just because I'm saying that I've burnt out on it doesn't mean it's bad in any way, but I mean, you get bored of anything eventually, I guess. But yes, it was, in terms of value for money and enjoyment and just awesome production, it's an amazing piece of work.
I mean, I find it to be completely just stunning, as I've been playing through it. I'm just constantly amazed by the scenes, the setup, the lighting, the sound, everything about it is incredible. Blue Rose.
discovered yesterday that Madness Returns has an interactive storybook app. Is that able to be available again? And could there also be one for Asylum?
Yes, so the interactive storybook app was actually handled by an outside agency, a developer outside of Spicy Horse, while we were working on Madness Returns. And so that was published into the App Store by EA, developed by a separate developer. So that means that as far as reviving it and republishing it, that's a question for EA as to whether or not... Now, they probably did get the source files, and they probably got everything necessary to make that happen. So I would imagine the answer is yeah, we could republish that along with Asylum and doing remasters of the first 2 games. I don't think there'd be a problem with that, other than the typical standard problem of like money and time, right? It depends on how big our budget is and what we have time allotted for. That looks very Quake-esque. That looks like something I would have built in one of my Quake levels. So yeah, and then as far as like doing another thing like that, this feels like a boss arena. Doing another thing like that for Asylum, yeah. Again, the answer is yeah, for sure. Shouldn't be a problem, so long as we don't have budget and time constraints that disallow that happening, right? So. Where's the dodge? Where's the block? See, now I'm stuck on God of War theory of gameplay.
Get the shield out.
Yeah, I want to know where my shield is. Where's Boy? I need Boy to shoot arrows at this guy. I feel like he's going to kill me.
Looks like it.
It really feels like he's about to kill me. I'm very low on basically everything. I died. That's not really fair, dude. He just starts off the match by whacking me.
Is that sorry, Callum? I gave him a heart attack with my cough.
Yeah,
I just have a very bad throat.
It's really loud, dude. I was gonna say.
I try and do it over here.
Thank you, Callum, for calling Martin out on his disgusting cough behavior.
I do have a bad throat, and sometimes you get it's quite pollen-y in Shanghai these days, and it's terrible. Hopefully not today with all of this rain. As he stares wistfully out of the window.
Now, why would I set myself on fire? That just... Come on. Come on, game. That's clearly not what I had in... and then I fall into the abyss.
Let's see if there's any advice.
There's no advice. Just get good. It's clearly the advice for this section of the game.
Salah says use Jack in the Box.
I was using Jack in the Box.
The alternate fire of the ice wand creates a barrier.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. We'll do that. Look, there's a barrier. And then he's just gone right around it. That was fantastic.
Hide behind it.
Look, I set myself on fire again.
I love that.
What? Why did I have to die so suddenly there? That wasn't really fair. It's like you spawn into the map and there's just no avoiding getting whacked by him.
We have another super chat from Blade Siskadal.
Alright, Kid Blade, could you please send the secret to defeating this?
Do you like anime-styled games? You should check out the Danganronpa... How do you pronounce that? I know the game. Danganronpa games. It's available on Vita and PS4. I like an anime cel-shaded style of game. I think the best one, or at least the one that sticks in my mind, the first time I saw something that really knocked this out of the park, was Rogue Galaxy on PlayStation 2. Couldn't believe what that was capable of. It was amazing. And since that cel shading in games, it's become quite a common thing now, but yeah, love it. Love it. How about you?
Not something I really think about. I don't think like I want to play this game because of the art style. I mean, of course, you see games that have got interesting art styles. Nothing wrong with I love varied art styles in games. But I don't go out of my way to get like an anime or cartoony style. I got him. Woohoo! I feel surprised about that it didn't take me 500 hours to kill that boss.
Easier than the Nazi caterpillar.
Easier than the doll maker.
Is that?
Massive rain.
Yeah. It suddenly started raining so hard we can hear it from quite a distance.
Baoyu. If you in Chinese, this is called Baoyu.
Baoyu.
When it suddenly starts like this, and this is actually the season for this kind of rain. This is called. This is the Meiyu plum rain season. Meiyu Ji is how you would say the plum rain season.
Oh.
I just got whacked in the back of the head by a Mad Hatter.
That sucks.
That does suck. But we are now
Also,
to
Rumble of Thunder.
We are now to another section of the game that I like quite a lot, and I think I actually made. Now a lot of people have said that that's me. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't really look like you.
Yeah, but I made I made a lot of content, like level content, in this section of the game, that I don't remember how much of it actually made it into the game. So I want to be careful that I'm not claiming work that doesn't belong to me. But I distinctly remember working with this texture set and building stuff, and I just don't know what portion, I mean, if any, maybe, actually ended up in the game at last. But anyway, this is a good section of the game. We got the insane children here, which is what we call our fans and supporters. That guy's got a head clamp on. They've all got their eyes forced open, as you do in an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
They make really funny noises, but we don't have our headphones on right now. They make a kind of sound.
It's got a funny noise.
It is. There's a nice Hall of Mirrors effect. You know, again, now, see these guys, this is another one of those enemies where I think to myself, why did we do this? Why did we make essentially a robot?
Robots.
With wheels. Did you ever see the movie The Wiz?
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. So I think in that movie there were also sort of roller skatey, rolling, monsters, and I always thought those were really dumb.
It was dumb.
It was dumb. I think this is I think that's a wraith or that's not a boojum. I think it's a wraith. You guys will have to correct me about my own game because I forget what we called those. But this is a pretty decent effect. If you think about the age in which this game came out, it's all right, you know. Visually interesting for that era.
I think so.
Yeah. Quite a lot of interesting noises going on here.
Do more of this. Right, we did Nina. Oh, there's another big one from Asteria Visual. I'll try not to make this too long. Well, you did. It's fine. Beautiful artwork. Can really feel the emotions. Been saving to buy a few prints. This one and the flamingo are on the top. Also looks like done quite a lot of stuff on Mysterious. They've got a Vorpal umbrella and a mega cufflinks.
Wow.
I do like the Vorpal umbrella.
The Vorpal umbrella is very nice.
Use that
We
a
no
lot.
longer have that here as a prop, and like you trying to put an eye out with it.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. Those were the QVC days when we.
Chaos coin design. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
I agree.
Mm.
I like this person. Who is this?
This is Asteria Visual.
Okay, well I agree with you 100%, Asteria Visual. You're my new best friend. Noop noop.
I think I saw them in chat, I think. It doesn't look like a snowflake, but you could add the heart now or not.
This guy just froze me with chains out of his eyeballs.
What?
That wasn't nice.
Sounds like something a Cenobite might do.
It does, doesn't it? It needs some more blue stuff.
So yeah, Asteria is in the US. Wish the stream would start an hour earlier, like it used to. Did we do that? Did we used to start at 8?
We have started at 8 sometimes.
Oh.
We could do that again. I mean, that's one of the reasons I was asking about start times was I figured we mixed it up a little bit. We could do a few earlier, we could do a few later, but I want to make sure we get a consensus on sort of what are good start times for everybody so we don't sort of screw everybody over.
Yeah, some suggestions here for the time. Like I said, start an hour earlier. Anyway, can't wait for the stream as always. I'm just looking at the chat now. Can't see them, but I'm sure I did earlier. 012590 loves the update coin design. Can't help but feel there's something missing inside the Chaos Ring, though.
Am I supposed to jump in here? This feels like I made a mistake. It's cool though.
It's got collision, so
I like all these gears and stuff. I really like this texture set. I think it's quite nice. See, this feels like one of those places where I should probably be able to jump up. And I did. I grabbed the ledge.
amazing.
Amazing.
JD Bruce. Coin still needs the heart, in my opinion. Looks too plain now. Maybe a small heart in the center.
Yeah. I heard this. I saw some comments like that. I see. So I've managed to open up the secret on that side. It's almost like I know what I'm doing here.
Almost.
I don't know. There's a kind of muscle memory at work. It includes that. My muscle memory includes falling down a hole.
Like I say, you got muscle memory of God of War now. It doesn't fit together.
No, it doesn't. Really doesn't.
Carola Gyoko. The best time would be 8 p.m. Hong Kong. So you'll be able to have the whole 2 hours before it gets too late for you guys.
Just too late for me. Let's be honest here. It's not too late for Martin.
Lee Marshall. 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. London time. So what would that be? That would be about hour, like 2 p.m.-ish? Yeah, there's a lot. There doesn't really seem to be a consensus about when it should be. Right, I just have to try some stuff and see what sticks. Activate Life. It's just so good. The art image feels like you're capturing what my mind would look like on bad days.
Wow.
Okay. Mark Muir. Weekdays don't work for me in the UK. If the stream were on a Saturday, any time would be fine.
Can I make a suggestion, Martin? Maybe for the time thingies, we can save that conversation for like you and me, and then the main comments we look at today are the ones where like they have a question or a comment related to design.
Okay.
Because if I were listening in the stream, I probably wouldn't be that interested in the conversation about what time the stream should be next week.
But people, I saw it a bit earlier. They were giving us their suggestions.
Alright, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm trying to go through them quick anyway.
Yeah, I could be
Garrett
wrong.
Scott, loving the cemetery scene and the card guards impaled. Now it looks like they're painting the roses with their blood. Love. What's this one? I noticed that Alice's father is named Henry in the art, her mother Lorena and her sister Lisbeth, rather than Elizabeth or Lizzie. Again, I think we can just say it's not final art.
No, I mean this is just Omri messing around. It's not. I mean, look what he named his book. I don't. Nobody can even pronounce that. So Nuever. So I don't think we should expect that whatever he does with those gravestones. Yeah, I mean he's just having a bit of fun. Yeah.
Nothing set in stone yet.
No.
Carved onto a gravestone.
Furthest from set in stone.
Ladycroft.
What are you guys doing in here?
This picture is absolutely amazing. Definitely want a print of this one. But prefers the coin with the heart in it.
This thing doesn't seem to care about being whacked with anything, basically.
Use the ice wand.
No, it didn't care about the ice wand. It ignored all pain from the ice wand. It doesn't like the cards. I figured that out. Okay. All right, don't worry.
Joseph McCardle. The pick is amazing. Grantastic.
Grantastic.
I can feel the emotion.
Wow, good.
Anthony Movan. What's this? Building on the Omri Koresh's lab art, in which the Hatter faces his pre-fire self. Maybe the severed heads of the card guards should also be pre-fire. Yeah. Again, just concept.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to make comments about what the concept could do. Totally fine.
Look closer, there's still flesh. It's just that they have a big hole in the middle of the skull. Very observant.
Yeah,
Can you
people
imagine?
really do enjoy dissecting.
Zoom in and analyze every little bit, which is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
When we do the concept review, sort of officially, like when we were working on Badness Returns, I would certainly do some level of that, like really zooming in on the images and talking about the meaning that was hidden within the images. And it's certainly done during production, because we know that the fans will do it if we don't, right? So we better keep an eye on what it is. And the other thing is, you don't want to inadvertently put a swastika in an image and you laugh, and yet we actually did have some art for the Asian levels in Madness Returns, which, if you live in Asia or if you know anything about the Buddhist religion, philosophy, you would know that there's a Buddhist symbol which looks very much like the swastika, except the arms are twisted around the other way. And somebody had actually put that into a piece of concept artwork, and it could have ended up in the game, until I said something along the lines of, let's not do that, it could be misinterpreted. And so we took it out. Hey, did you just try to blow me off the side of the level? Oh no, it's this thing is the level is trying to blow me off the side of the level. I see. I'm just going to run away from this whole thing right now. And then, I think I'm going to run away. And then,
What?
man. Because the
Oh,
levels. Jeez, Rick. The level's doing things. All right, you know what time it is.
How many more comments? Oh, nearly there.
What do you want to do, Martin? Another art print. All right, so
That's
for
all
those
we've got,
of you,
isn't it?
For those of you in the chat and you want to win an art print, you got to blah 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 in the chat. And
While you blah blah blah, let's have a look at what posters we've got over there on Mysterious.
let's have a look. We'll let Martin pick out the next poster.
Trying to remember what's in the office, what we've got available.
Surely we have. Do we not have this? I know we have this Royal Blue Knight. It is
too big, isn't it?
massive.
We don't have the tubes for that.
It is absolutely massive. I don't know.
I remember seeing this. I remember seeing her black eye on one of the posters poking out from the tube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Martin has selected
The black-eyed
little
peas.
girl punched in the eye abuse image. You know that when we used this as a marketing image on Facebook for Out of the Woods, we actually had a few people write and say, I don't think this is appropriate. This is supporting the concept of child abuse, and I want to report this. And so we had people getting, remember that?
Yeah, I remember there were a couple of people
being angry.
Got their knickers in a twist.
They were being angry that we had punched a little girl
But
in the eye.
Who says she's been punched? She's in the woods.
She might have fallen down. Exactly. This is what I tried to tell her mom. I mean, come on, she says I punched her, and I'm like, I didn't punch her. She threw herself out of a tower without first tying her hair off to something. That's, climbing accident.
Try to put your brain or your mindset into the mind of some of these people whose instant reaction to anything is, what is the most negative thing I can think about this thing I have experienced?
This is one of the interesting kind of views on people who are trying to counter the argument of those who would call everything racism. And I think, it was actually George W. Bush, who I'm not a great fan of, but had coined this this term, which was the soft racism of low expectations. And it had to do with quotas for hiring, and it had to do with essentially people saying, oh, look, poor minorities, let's coddle them, and then what you realize is that those are the same people who are claiming that everyone else are racists. Meanwhile, they're being incredibly racist by assuming that an entire group of people, by virtue of their skin color, are less than, which is the exact definition of a racist. And the same thing was happening, here, and it happens in games, it happens with our marketing, where people assume the worst. Oh no, a little girl has her eye punched. I'm going to interpret that as child abuse. Well, you know what psychologists would say about that is that if the first thing you jump to is X, it means that X is actually quite close to...
It says more about you.
That's right.
Any criticism, maybe unjust criticism, that you immediately jump to says a lot more about where you're at.
The technical psychological term for that is projection. And so projection is a very real thing. And so when you see people reacting poorly to stuff like this, or things in the culture in general, oftentimes it's because internally they are the horrible thing that they're concerned that you are being. Anyway. All right, you guys ready for the giveaway? You're gonna win the racist, child-abusing, misogynist, whatever else horrible things are going on in this Red Riding Hood art print. Red Music Blaster.
Red Music Blaster.
Congratulations, Red Music Blaster. You gotta do the thing. You gotta send us your email address, phone number, mailing address. You can mention what it is that you won here. Don't forget to tell us what country you live in, or maybe perhaps include your zip code. Street number also helps. You'd be surprised.
Wait,
how many people
have you not been listening?
Their street number.
Red Music Blaster seems confused.
I think Red Music Blaster is sitting over there going, "Am I a racist? Is that why I?"
If I get this picture, well, does that mean
I'm a child abuser? What's going on? Help! I'm confused. Anyway, so Red Music Blaster, you won the thing.
Yes, I will keep an eye out for more comments to see if they're super confused and. Yeah, see what's going on with that.
Man, I don't know about... I'm going to die almost immediately here, I can tell. If it weren't for the monsters blowing me around on the turntable, the what do you want to call it, this might be semi-doable. But it's those guys that make it incredibly... Save! Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Save, boy.
Save, boy. I liked in the most recent thing where he dropped his knife and then Crouton says something like, you keep your thing, and he says, I almost. The boy says like, I almost lost it, and he's like, no boy, you did. And the kid's just like, disappointment, fail. I just can't do anything right. Just constant disappointment, fail. I mean, that can't be a great dad to have. Now, come on, honestly, is he really going to end up being Crouton's son? Because I just
tell you anything that happens in the late game.
I really don't feel like that's his kid. I feel like this is like basically tough stepdad simulator. You know, it's like, all right, your mom, moved off to another country, was bored, lonely. I think she slept with that armor maker guy. Yeah. I mean, that's
Rock or Sindri?
Probably both.
Both.
She's probably like that. I don't know.
No spoilers.
What? Come on, doesn't matter.
It's not really a spoiler to say that there are people in the game that make armor.
No, I mean, why no spoilers? Come on.
That's Mr. Kuros is saying it.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't said anything too bad.
It's just a theory. Oh, he's saying no spoilers. I see. Yeah, we haven't actually. Nice physics. Good broken game.
Red Music Blaster, PM American on his YouTube channel, somehow through the channel.
Yeah, we're not here to tell you how to do that. We're just here to give away the prizes.
Yeah,
so
we're not sure.
It's like this. You can have your prize if you can figure out how to PM us. It's the most basic of filters, and I don't think it's too harsh, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty fair. Figure out how to work a YouTube PM, win a thing.
Yeah,
that's
how you earn your prize.
Well, there's times when we get these people who've won and they don't even send a complete address, and I really feel like it's not my job to sit here and to Google search your house. Why am I doing this?
Greg Parabek's always on hand with a probably cut and pasted response.
Yeah, Greg, you shouldn't. I think you should. I just don't know, Greg. I don't think you should enable this bad behavior. Speaking of which, tell me how to get through this level.
Now, I need to do these comments, then we can big up freaky fandoms and we can do some QVC.
Alright, well, we do have one more prize to give away
Yeah.
at the end, and we're going to do some QVC.
Tori, loving the art.
Why did nobody laugh at my my very obvious...
Can't ever seem to save them to
hypocrisy.
their tablet. Not sure why. Download it on PC. Ice Killer. Seeing a lot of amazing stuff. Is going to go back and rewatch the old live streams. Why not? Liking the cover on this post. I think we should do that as the next one.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do for next month's art. The Gravestone Maze Omri print.
Well,
it's been decided.
that's going to be the one. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, that's fine.
We should promote that. I think it'd be very popular.
I see.
Loving Omri's work.
Did you literally just blow me off of the thingy there?
I didn't blow you off.
No, I just saved over my quick save. Alright.
I was thinking about having 2 different versions of the coin. One is the special Patreon coin, and the other will be an unlimited one from Mysterious. That was just confusing matters, I think.
What's going on there?
Ice Killer thinks there should be 2 coins.
No,
a Patreon coin and a Mysterious coin.
No, don't confuse things, dude.
No.
No, we're not doing that.
And then something about the live stream time, which I will skip via your suggestion.
I mean, can you imagine how confusing that would get? And then we have to keep track of all the names of all the people who backed various coins, and I mean, it's already going to be a nightmare to keep track of all this stuff over how many ever months, years into the future.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's your job, Martin.
I know. I would be the lord of the Excel sheet for that particular thing.
This is amazing. Look, I like this squish smash bleed simulator.
Can you clip through her dress? See her
And
pants?
see, well, that was actually a question somebody at EA did ask once.
Oh,
They wanted
apparently
to
not.
know what would happen if you looked up her dress. And
There are no pantsu. What's going on there?
I'm gonna leave that alone. I know Donald Trump got in a lot of trouble for making comments related to something like that, so I'm just not gonna go there. Okay. But I think we've learned that it is a very bad idea to jump in between the pieces. They don't really seem to go for that. So no.
Luna Spook Show. Sounds creepy. Loves the coin now. Liked the before design because it signified chaos in the heart.
Yeah, I feel a little bad about the whole the chaos heart bit, because I think that there was something good about the heart. If Alex
asked him to de-emphasize
we did ask him to. Well, it was. I think didn't I make the request much more brutal?
I would have to check the email.
I think in my final request I did do something like just to remove it completely, because one of the things I'm thinking is we need to get Alex onto finishing up the PPT. You know?
Yes.
And the longer that we spend, and this is part of the problem of where we're at right now. Like, we really want to make everything as good as we can, but at the same time, we don't have infinite unlimited time, nor do we have infinite unlimited resources. So the time that Alex is spending on doing the coin, he could be spent doing the PPT.
Yes.
And we desperately want to get the PPT done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
We have another super chat from Blade. Siska Doll again.
Woo,
just
thank you,
throwing
Blade.
money at us.
That's awesome.
Give Blade give him the user of the stream award.
Oh no, I've ended up in this same place again.
Phone is about to die, so he's going to continue watching on their PS3.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Look forward to more Lulu next week, and this super chat is an advance payment for a Lulu close-up.
I thought we did a Lulu close-up.
Another Lulu close-up.
Alright.
Just wants more Lulu.
Yeah, well.
Maybe, could do a nice big Lulu picture on the next Patreon update, perhaps.
I thought we had some good, nice Lulu pictures.
Well, we're trying to remember to do another close-up next week, because she has gone. She's tootled off.
She's, I think she got distracted by the doorbell.
She did. And Luna is just loving just all the updates she's doing and keeping everyone up to date. Final comments for this post. Callum, sorry wasn't around for commenting on the last few posts, but I'm back. The artwork for the graveyard scene is beautiful, it certainly is. Could easily transition into the real world with the funeral of her family. And Chaos coin looks good despite missing the heart. Yeah, there you go.
You did, Martin!
Technically, there is another post that we didn't do.
That's true.
Which I think has even more comments.
Well, you should just start it.
I think I might be commented out today.
Well, then why don't we call this our stop point? We're gonna do. You want to do some stuff. You want to talk about
stuff.
Freaky fandoms, and we're gonna give away one more contest, one more prize. So down there, that's Freaky Fandoms. The link to their podcast is in the description to this video, and they are our largest sponsor.
Yes.
On a weekly basis, at least, they do podcasts. Which what happens in their podcasts? They talk about culture,
cult films, and like directors and stuff.
And
What's
they
the
have just
latest
done
one they've done?
Devo.
All right.
So, if you're interested in hearing our friends Deborah and Andrew expound on cultural criticism, critique, and what's another C word I could use here? Cuddling? Croutons. Croutoning of culture, then you want to head over to freakyfandomspodcast.com and give them a listen. Remember that they are our largest sponsor, and so that you supporting them also helps to support us.
So please head on over and
Yes.
give them a listen.
That is correct.
See if you like what goes in your ears.
That would be very good to go over and give them a listen.
Freaky Fandoms.
Freaky
Follow the
Fandoms,
link, which is
freakyfandomspodcast.com.
that way, probably.
1,000 years, rickandmorty.com.
100 years, Freaky
100
Fandoms,
years.
www.freakyfandoms.com.
Now, I wanted to bring up that next week I have an idea to play a game that was actually made during Pirate Jam, and that is called Cult Smashers. So if you go over to
pirate-jam.com,
you will see that we have all the videos from Pirate Jam 2018.
and check out the videos. They're quite good. The production this year was ramped right up.
So we have 4 videos. They're, like Martin said, they're really fun to watch. Very high production value. Our friend Russell Parks was the videographer and editor for that. And Dion Verhoeven I can't remember it. It's some Dutchish sounding name. Anyway, he did all the music and sound for those. But there were also all these games that got made. And so you can go there and download these for free and play them. Next week, we've already downloaded it, but next week I think we're going to play a little bit of this. It's called Cult Smashers. And this is a team made up of guys who primarily come from the developer called Free Lives. They are famous for things like Broforce and Genital Jousting. And during Pirate Jam, they worked as a team. Here is the team credits to make this game. It's got a randomly generated skill tree, and it is in a cult neighborhood in the middle of America. For those of you who haven't been to the States, that's basically what the U.S. looks like. It's basically just orange dirt, spikes coming out of the ground, and people shooting at each other, dead bodies everywhere. That's just the U.S.
This is America.
This is America. You watched that video finally.
It's really fun.
I thought it was great.
It's kind of mental, like just his crazy ass dancing and facial expressions mixed in with the violence and nonsense. It's a mad old video. I like it.
So we listened to the song by itself yesterday when we were packing all the artwork, and I made comment that I think the song by itself is okay, but it's not like that. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I could probably listen to it, but the video plus the song is some next level shit, and I don't have to agree with the politics, but this is the thing. Everybody's got a different interpretation of what that video means. I've seen right-wing interpretations, I've seen left-wing interpretations, and my favorite is that it's a sort of troll across the board. That he's smart enough and subtle enough to have done something that triggered in a way where people on the left and the right were simultaneously pissed off and in praising it in praise of it, and that's why I think it's so brilliant. Anyway, how do we get off? Oh, right, because we're going to play Cult Smashers, and this is America.
But we just have an Ice Killer super chat came in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ice Killer.
Good Guy with a Gun reminds me of a game called A Boy and His Blob. I know the name Boy and His Blob, but I can't picture it in my mind.
So I don't know if you've played a good Guy with a Gun. Now there was in the videos and while we were at the event a bit of controversy around the concept behind this, which it's not just our controversy. This is the controversy, and that is the controversy of guns in America and specifically gun violence in the United States. Danny Day, who's the guy who designed this, he is very much anti-gun, and he's got a lot of good reasons. He believes good reasons for why guns should just be outlawed entirely. I made the comment on Twitter this morning that I think that people who are arguing that guns should be outlawed in the United States are often the very same people who are arguing that Trump is literally Hitler. So I find that there is a dissonance contained within the concept that, oh, Trump's Hitler, but oh, let's give Trump all of our guns. I don't think you can have it both ways. And so I think that you have to kind of come from a first principle perspective as to why people have guns. And you also need to look at the statistics for like where the actual gun violence occurs. This takes us back to the Glover video, This is America, because in that video, the majority of the violence or all of the violence taking place is black on black violence. And of course, if you look at the gun crime statistics in the United States, you'll see that the majority of gun crimes are actually black on black. They happen within very specific areas. Anyway, we won't get into the politics of all that, but Danny's game was meant to stimulate this sort of conversation. Which it did. Yeah. So I think it's a really complicated issue. Obviously, I don't think it's complicated. I think it's pretty cut and dry. But I think people like to have the conversation, and I like the fact that games like this, even in the little story that Evan and his guys did here of this is middle of America. All right, Evan, as an American. By the way, could we make the white genocide simulator for South Africa? I mean, from the news reports I've been reading, this actually would probably look a bit more like South African farms right now than it would your typical American neighborhood, but what do I know? I only get my information about South Africa from the news, and the news is biased, and I'm going to guess that the news I'm seeing about, that you're seeing about America is also equally biased. So, anyway. That's Pirate Jam.
It's Pirate Jam.
Fun things come out of Pirate Jam. Out of the Woods?
Out of the Woods. Still tootling along. We're very close to sending some final art to the factory to get a final box production made so we can see it in all its glory before getting them all done and sent out.
Yes.
Getting close.
Yes.
Getting close. But everything is still up for sale, pre-order on our BackerKit shop.
And I can see that you've updated all the pictures.
I updated all the pictures.
Glorious HD pictures up there.
Duh. So yeah, head on over to Out of the Woods BackerKit. There's that card game, the illustrated book, which is amazing.
And look, we even increased the price on the Lulu neoprene mat.
I did. It's the illustrated book. 10 fairy tales with life lessons. Colouring book. Again, got the prototype made. Looks, well, as you'd imagine a colouring book to look.
Difficult to show that off on camera like this. Doesn't work.
Angle it.
One of these days we'll set up a second product review camera for the desk. I think we used to have something like that.
So yeah, that's still a thing on BackerKit.
Okay, so BackerKit's there. You guys can go in. We've actually been selling a ton of these days. I'm really impressed with how fast
we did some advertising.
Yeah, but it's working really well. I think that these product shots are doing it some justice. Okay, that is
Freaky Fandoms, Out of the Woods, Pirate Jam, Patreon,
Asylum stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys
Everybody
already knows about Patreon. So if you want to get the Chaos Coin and support what we're doing, our next goal is at 2,000 patrons, and I think we're at around 1,000 or something.
1,250-ish.
So if you care about getting a coin and
supporting all the art that is getting made,
there you go.
So that's not free for us.
Okay, we're going to do one more giveaway. Martin, pick an art print.
Do we have any Big Bad Wolf?
Somebody in the chat, April Ryan, has said, can you give us a rough estimate for Out of the Woods?
we want to get, the next time we're in touch with Ad Magic, we're going to ask, assuming we give you all the files on a certain date, project that out to you making a prototype, us giving the thumbs up for the prototype, the factory being given the thumbs up, the factory shipping. We want Ad Magic to give us an actual official thing we can tell you.
But we should be straight about this. When we receive emails from the woman who's our point of contact for Ad Magic, in the footer of her emails, it says, please take note that from the moment you submit your files to us to when the factory completes your manufacturing and you have this stuff in your hands, can be, depending on the time of year, upwards of 90 days, 3 months. So that means that the book, the illustrated book and the coloring book are in manufacturing now.
Yeah.
But the card game is not. So in a worst case scenario, they've got those files now, right?
For the card game?
Yeah, they have all the files now.
We're waiting on an answer from them, and then we can send everything.
Okay. Well,
so again, this is a lot of what we do, waiting for people to say something.
Waiting for them to get back to us.
Days. Just sat around waiting for an email.
Well, we need to poke them again. Let's poke them again. Anyway, I think that from right now today, in a worst case scenario, we could still be looking at around 3 months before the manufacturing for the card game is done. Now, Martin and I have talked about whether or not we're shipping these things individually or all at once, and I think we decided we need to stick it all at once, because otherwise the shipping costs get out of control for us. Now, somehow I thought it was the other way around, but it's apparently not. So,
Shannon Carey, when should we be concerned about not receiving the inmate certificate? Now,
yes,
probably.
Send a message via Patreon. Not an email, not in a chat. Don't paste something angry to Facebook.
Don't write it on a piece of paper and chuck a brick at us.
Yeah, none of that stuff works. Go to Patreon and then send a message, and then we can give you some tracking details. We can actually see tracking on the certificates, like was it delivered, was it rejected, so forth and so on. All right, Martin, what are you gonna do? Look, I want to send out one of these Royal Blue Knights.
All right, let's do a Royal Blue.
Whoever wins this, I want to just say up front, it may not make it through the mail because it is massive, and we've actually had some of the tubes for stuff like this returned to us. So we'll try, but if it doesn't function, then we'll have to swap it out for a smaller poster. Because, I mean, it's like.
Oh, it's right there on the door.
Well, it is right there on the door, so it's like that wide. It's
a big un.
It's a big un, and it's like that tall. Anyway, none of that makes sense to you watching right now. It says it right there. It's nearly a meter tall, 90 by 60 centimeters. So, okay. I assume they've all filled up the chat with their blah blah blah.
Royal Blue Knight.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Flavia Amaral. Flavia, you have just won the Royal Blue Knight art print. And that does bring us to the end of our broadcast for today. So Flavia, please send us your email address, phone number, mailing address, all that stuff, and we will send an art print out to you. We'll be back next week with updates on Alice Asylum. We will probably play some This Is America Simulator, and hopefully we'll have some further news on Out of the Woods production schedule.
It's always, wait, what? There's nobody...
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Boy, you've won a thing.
You've won, boy.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for everybody who supported us in the Super Chat. Check out all the links below for all the things you can do to help support what we're doing, and we will see you next week.
See you later.